Starting a few minutes early here. I can do all my checks like that to make sure we have audio working. It is. Stream looks all good. This also gives me time to, oh, you can skip to like right to the hour, so like 4 minutes. You can skip 4 minutes if you'd like. I'll just be typing in my plugs, which are, what is that? Whoops. Consultation assessment. And what am I missing? Oh yeah, Instagram. Add me on the gram. Okay, I think that's everything. What time is it? I'll get 2 more minutes. Let's see what else I can do. I can get a little pre-hydrating. High quality H2O. Warm my throat up there. Me. Not gonna be doing any singing unless I just like sing. If something reminds me of a song, I will sing the 1 line or 2 from it. All right, 1 minute. Just waiting over the magic hour of 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I think that's 1 or 2 a.m. in the UK. I don't remember which. All right, 7 p.m. Central Time, and so let's start. Live from Cabot, Arkansas. This is Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money. I'm going to go ahead and get my plugs up front, which is that one. Yes. I am Coach Steve Money, and I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, don't wait another minute. You can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That is via video conferencing, so that can be accomplished from anywhere in the world. Usually use Google Meet for that. Email. These links are also in the video description and at the top of the chat. You can email me about coaching or anything on my YouTube channel, like the Ramsey stuff, like Oak Island, like computer stuff. I'm into a bunch of different things, and I use this channel as a repository for all that. So I'll be glad to hear from you via email. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can add me on the gram at CoachSteveMoney, and of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. Upcoming streams we have. This show is Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money, and this is Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, except for November 11th, which will be Sunday, November 12th at those same times, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time, and that's because the Ohio State Buckeyes, go Bucks, beat Penn State today. They have a night game against, I believe, Michigan State. And also upcoming stream, the Ramsey Show After Show. That'll be on October 26th. And either November 7th, 8th, or 9th. I'm not sure which day I'll be off yet, but one of those 3 days. That's a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. And that starts right after the Ramsey Show video on YouTube ends, approximately 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 Central Time. It normally like by 5 minutes after the hour, it is over. And that's when I will start. All right, let's get it. Oh, that is Ramsey-ish. That is a Facebook group that I came across last week. And I'll talk about the actual Facebook group that is run by Ramsey Solutions in just a moment. Let's see, do I need anything else here? Nope, we're all good. So I can go to the web page. There we go. Alrighty. My page, if you scroll down, you'll see Oak Island is the stuff I get the most views for. But you also have past live streams, and this is Ramsey Coach is the name of this show. This is number 42 of that particular series, and I started doing this on Saturday nights because I couldn't do the after show every day anymore when I changed jobs after moving. But in the music playlist, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including 2 Baby Step songs, 6 Ramsey adjacent songs in here. So you could give those a listen if you're so inclined. And there have been 356 episodes of the Ramsey Show After Show. Even back, I think, stretches to before the name changed to the Ramsey Show, as you can see there. All right, so 642 subscribers, over 1,000 videos. So thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. Please like, subscribe, and comment. That helps out a bunch. Oh, and today is Back to the Future Day. Happy Back to the Future Day. And this is the newspaper from the next day after this is the day after Marty goes to the future. He goes to October 21st, 2015, and this paper is dated October 22nd. This is the one that Doc brings back with him to the past from the future after this happens to Marty's son. And so then this is dated the 22nd, the paper is, and so they go to the future the day before so he can stop these events that happened here. And so people decided, yeah, so October 21st will be Back to the Future Day. So happy Back to the Future Day. And as you can see, the Cubbies won the World Series here. What is that? 3D billboards, free speech or traffic hazards? Okay. And oh, my favorite, cholesterol may be a cancer cure. So I don't know what the science is on that. Maybe we don't have that yet. Alrighty, so the Ramsey advice. These are the basics of it. And if you go to where this is, if you go to RamseySolutions.com and click on products, one of their products is the 7 baby steps. And look, it's right there. A lot of people complain, oh, why are you people trying to get out of debt? Why are you charging them money for stuff? This is right here. All you have to do is follow this. I did not spend one single cent on anything Ramsey until I paid for, what is it? Financial coaching master training. I always mix up the things. Oh, because I get it confused with masterclass. Yeah, so financial coaching master training, FCMT, until I paid for that. And really that was everybody paying for that, because I did that with my Biden bucks, the Biden stimulus during the pandy. And so it happened to be on sale right when I got that money. And so that's what I used it for, because I thought it's on sale. I have this money from the kind taxpayers, and thank you. And so, including myself. And so I decided to, if I wasn't going to do it then, I probably would never do it. So made myself do it. But before that, I didn't spend any money on Ramsey stuff at all. And so you don't have to do that. And I was able to get completely debt free and start investing before I ever took the master training, Ramsey Coach Master Training. Also, I never took Financial Peace University until I let it, which was also after I took the coach training. And so if you don't want to pay for FPU, if you coordinate a class, you basically get to take it for free, because you're learning it at the same time everybody else is, but you're just organizing it, and you're just leading discussions and so forth. And you don't have to be on any particular baby step. You just have to be able to tell your class that you are making progress, I think. Oh yeah. Still got the same chair. It slips down sometimes. All right. So where were we? Oh yeah. So you can just do this stuff. You don't have to pay any money at all. And you can go in the Ramsey show chat and ask questions, and people in there. I mean, you'll get trolls and stuff, or just people that think they know better and they'll give you the wrong advice. But there's usually plenty of people in there that will tell you the correct advice and let you know if somebody is trolling or giving non-Ramsey advice, so you can find out the answers from there. And of course, the Ramsey subreddit that we're going to, and the Facebook group. But we'll get to that momentarily. So find out what step you're on. You can click on that and do that, but it should be apparent. Although some people have a hard time, like for example, if they're already investing and they're already have money put aside for college kids, and they have a house and they already started paying extra on it, but they still have debt. They don't want to say, oh, I'm in step 2, but that's where you are, because unless the step is taken care of, you don't get to cross it off. So it doesn't matter if you're right here. If you have debt, I mean, if you have your house paid off early, even, you're not in step 7 if you have any debt at all. Well, it's just a car debt, or well, it's just the mortgage debt, and it's only 2%, and so why would I pay that off? So yeah. So people just don't want to admit it to themselves. But sometimes people can't tell. But if you email me and want to know what step you're on and you tell me your situation, then I will certainly email you back and let you know. So step 1, 2, and 3, you do in order, one at a time. So you save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. And that is so you don't have some kind of emergency and put it on a credit card. This is to stop you to get out of that habit. So that's your $1,000, but it's no more than $1,000, because you're not supposed to be comfortable. If you're comfortable, then you won't go gazelle and pay off all your debt gazelle intensively. So pay off all. Step 2 is pay off all debt, except the house, using debt snowball, and that would be smallest amount to largest amount, not of interest, not of payments, but the actual amount you owe an individual or a company. Step 3, save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. No one knows how much that should be for you because your expenses are going to be different from someone else, and the number of months you would like to choose would be different. So we can help you with that, but we have to know how many months of savings you want to do, or months of expenses you want to do, and then the amount of your monthly expenses. And so as far as deciding, step 3, 3 months is fine if you have no job or life drama, especially single people. 3 months is fine. 3 months of expenses is fine, because even if you lose your job, theoretically in 3 months you could have another job. So 3 months would be fine for that. If you have a family, then you might want to go closer to the 6 months. If you have a house, because those do need repair sometimes, and if you have a house and you're not renting, you have to pay for that. So then you might want to go closer to 6 months, but anywhere between 3 and 6. And a lot of people start padding it more, so it's more than 6 months. And so unless you have some kind of very extreme circumstance, Dave doesn't want you to save more than 6 months of expenses, because then you don't succeed at the rest of the baby steps as quickly as you could, which means you're leaving money on the table. And so once you get those 3 done, again, one at a time here for 1, 2, and 3, then 4, 5, and 6 you do all at the same time. You invest 15% of your gross household income into retirement. Step 5, you save for your kids' college if you have kids, if you want to help them. If both of those are true, then you do step 5. If one of those is not true, then you skip step 5. And so if you have a house already, this is where you would start paying extra on it. If you don't have a house already, you don't buy one until you get to step 3B, which is not written in here, but it does exist. That is where you save the down payment. You must be debt-free and have a full emergency fund before you buy a house, or that house will not be a blessing. All right, so again, 4, 5, and 6, you do all at the same time. And step 5, if it doesn't apply to you, you may skip it. And once you pay that house off, then the rest of everything is build wealth and give. A lot of people ask, well, what comes after that? Build wealth and give a lot of it away. That covers everything else. You wouldn't stop investing ever unless you needed to keep that money to live on. Like in retirement, why not still invest? If you have the extra money, why not still invest? In the way you could leave more money to your heirs. Why not? But if you need it all to live on, or you want to blow it all, then you don't have to invest anymore. But otherwise, invest until the day you die. Why not? All right, so I'll come back to these when the question that we come across refers to them. Hola, Anon. Very late for you. What time is it there? So yeah, I'll refer back to the baby steps, because when I have to come back and make sure, oh, does that say save up another 6 months after you save up this 6 months of it? No, it doesn't. So I come back and do that kind of stuff. Okay, so what we do is we go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey, and we sort by new, and I just give the Ramsey advice to any of these people. Some people, it's the Dave Ramsey subreddit. It's not run by Ramsey Solution. It's run by fans. But some people want to hear non-Dave advice. Some people, even after they put "What would Dave do?" flair on the question, they make it clear they want to hear non-Dave advice. So that's kind of weird to me. Yeah, so if you want instead of this, if you'd rather have a group that's run by Ramsey Solutions, which you still get non-Dave advice on there as well, but that at least is run by Ramsey Solutions, and they may handle trolling a little bit better over there. I do not know, but that's on the Facebook, and that is called the Ohio State University. That's called the Ramsey Baby Steps Community, and use those exact words. If you don't have those exact words, then it's not the right group. They have a bunch of different Ramsey groups over there, including that Ramsey-ish group that I found last week. All right, it is 1:15 a.m. in the UK. I don't know if that covered that one time. Does that one time zone cover the whole UK? Which is the British. Geography is not my category at all. Alrighty, so let's start here. I think I gave all the preliminaries, right? Oh, and so if we run out of questions, which it should be a whole week of questions that I haven't answered, so should be plenty. But if not, I grabbed some from the Facebook group as well. Alrighty. Actually, these are still left over from September 30th when I didn't need to use them. This from Donut Love 47. 50K salary pay raise. How about that? Congratulations. Oh, that's worth it. 50K is worth it. I'll give that a Price is Right winning theme. How about that? Alright, that's enough though. Oh, go back to the chat. Okay. All of the UK is under GMT Greenwich Mean Time. Greenwich Mean Time. We keep it simple here. Hello, Lou. It's like Michael Caine type of thing. 50K starting November 1st. Great. Starting your salary, same job title. Great. I would take over a better job title. I would take 50K more instead. New salary is 50K more a year. Yep. Got that from the title, but that's okay. I already live debt free, making 65K a year. Take home has been 45K after taxes. So you're going from 65 to 115 for the same job. That is excellent. Have a mortgage. I already pay extra payments on it, but no other debt. Great. Also already save about 1/3 of my income per month. Okay, so that you should not be doing. If you have your full emergency fund already, you should not be doing that. But I'm very scared when I start making 115K, that creep will impact my mental space on money. It could, and that's when you would go to my website and scroll down and listen to the Lifestyle Creep song. Lifestyle Creep, instead be a widow. And that'll hopefully get you out of that. But yeah, that does happen. So yeah, you gotta try to remember that you are the same person, but you're just making more. Now, you can increase your fund money by the same percentage that it is now. Out of 65, you could do that if you wanted, and that would be fine. Let's see, I will max out my contribution to 401k to put in 23K. It's going up to 23K. I did not know that. Going up to 23K for 2024. Excellent. Plus 4% match from a company. Okay. Should I pay my house off quicker? Yes, you should not be saving 1/3 of your income per month. If you already have see, that's what I was talking about earlier. It doesn't say save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund, and then under like 3A is not, and then save 1/3 of your income on top of that. It does not say that do that. It's that you take care, you apply the money to steps 4, 5, and 6. You can skip 5 if that doesn't apply. You can skip 6 if that doesn't apply. If you want to be a renter the rest of your life, that is fine. Dave would prefer you have a house, but that is up to you. But this person has a home, so that should be paid off early rather than saving extra money. The only time now, say you have some kind of emergency or job or life trauma, then the order does not change and you do not add different steps. You just pause the baby steps and then you just pile up cash to take care of said emergency. All right, so let's see what else is going on, if anything. Yes, pay off your house, but risk seeing the big checks and being corrupted to increase spending. Well, I mean, that's going to happen. You're going to have to overcome that. I mean, that is a good problem to have, actually. And so you're thinking about it, so that's the right thing to do. Is thinking about it. So that means you're mindful of it. So hopefully you will continue to be continuously mindful of it. Another thing you could do is to pretend like you didn't get it and just send all of that excess to the house. You could do that. And then when the house is paid off, then you know, you can go crazy at that point. Once you're investing still 15% of your income, your gross household income into retirement, once you're doing that, and then you have the house paid off, then it's just step 7, build wealth and give. Then you can go crazy. You can do whatever you want in step 7, except to go into a lower baby step. Now, of course, an exception would be if at that point you decide to upgrade in house. That's fine too, as long as you're not buying too much house. That's fine. So if you have to save additional down payment or whatever, you would be back in 3B, and that's fine. But as soon as you buy the house and sell this one, then you would be right back where you were before. You'd go from 3B to 7 immediately. But let's see, I have an investment portfolio, but that money hits my checking account first and then gets auto invested in a schedule. Can I skip that part? I'm scared to see big checks. I don't know what he means. Can he skip that part? He doesn't want to see it. He wants to set it up so it automatically goes into something. If you want to do that, have it go automatically into the house instead of being invested. So the investment, I don't know, again, with, I have to do the math for that, 50K to, or 65K, and he's saying 22. Oh, so you're trying to max it out of that money first. I mean, that's fine too if you want to do that. But really it should be 15% until the house is paid off. So that putting it all to the house is what Dave would likely recommend, because that's what his baby steps say. All right, and again, a good problem to have. Perish the thought. See that? It's P-A-R-I-S-H. Little pun thing going on there. Perish the thought. 66. Did you attend the Ramsey first ever money and marriage getaway? Was this the first getaway? I know they've had money and marriage events before. Platinum attendees still have the reception tonight at 6 p.m. I would have loved to attend, but I'm only on baby step 2, so the time isn't right? And the money is tight. That's correct. It's not for baby step 2 people. Did you get to the event? Platinum or general admission? Can you share anything about the event? Also, if you have Ramsey Plus membership, I might have gotten some of it streamed, perhaps. But like that would be the limit if you're on baby step 2. about a baby step 2. Very excited about it and wanted to go. I get it. You get it. You get it, but good decision to not do that. So no, I didn't go, didn't see it. Shoddy replacement 71, baby step 2 flare, rental property advice. And baby step 2 is to not have any. That's the advice. Husband and I on baby step 2, and on the first month of doing this, and on the first month of doing this, I thought that was going to be period. I thought it was going to be more there. A bad read there. Let me read it again. My husband and I are baby step 2, and on the first month of doing this. We own a rental house just 0.5 miles away from our current home. Here are the details. We owe $259K, worth $320K, monthly payment, $1670 rental, income $220. Okay, or $2,200, excuse me. So making $600 a month on it. Now we could sell that home. That would probably be that's gonna be the advice. Because if you have other debt, you shouldn't be having rental property. Rental property needs to be paid on cash. You are allowed to have a mortgage, but that is on your residence only, not for rental property. So you're doing it wrong. We could sell that home to pay off our debt. However, we'd be losing the $600 per month. Rather than you giving me $600 a month, I'd rather be debt-free. Should we hold on to it? No. I'm sure some of the 18 comments have said, yeah, you never sell property. That's false. You do sell property. The market in my area is slowing a lot due to rates being so high, right? Our current rate is 3.1%. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It could be 1%, and you should still sell it to pay off your debt. To undo something you shouldn't have done in the first place, which was to get a mortgage on rental property. Always in cash, rental property is, if you're going to follow Dave's advice. Axel Rose, 74. Baby step 2 flare. Possible job advancement. Okay, and then maybe you get a $50,000 raise like the first guy. Hello, my wife and I are currently on baby step 2, and we got quite a few ways to go. Quite a ways to go. Quite a way to go, actually. You don't need a few there. Just need some perspective on this new opportunity. I work as an X-ray tech Monday, Friday, full time. I recently picked up a casual X-ray position for Saturday shifts at another facility for a little less than what I make at the full-time gig, probably is what the person means. Sometimes businesses don't want you working for another employee that does the exact same thing, but I'll let you worry about that. I just found out about that my current facility is able to train me into MRI. Okay, great. But I have to pay for my coursework, $320, and I would need to complete my clinical hours on my own time after I finish X-rays for the week. There's also no guarantee in a position, or they will hire me as an MRI tech, okay? Just wondering if you're in baby step 2, it is $320, and theoretically you might be able to get hired somewhere if you have the training. I don't know, and you would have the hours, but I don't know if that's like almost assuredly you would get a better job, high-paying job somewhere or not. So maybe check with other people in your field and see about that. Let's see, just wondering a good idea. If I'm able to complete this training and get a position, my pay would significantly increase, right? So, but it's all it depends on the likelihood of it. If it's 90%, it might be worth saving up $320 instead of putting that to debt to do that. But I would lose on the supplemental income I was receiving for work this Saturday. They said could take about 3 to 6 months to complete MRI certification, right? So that's it. You'd have to check with people in that field to see how likely it is for someone that has the training to be sitting at home with not that job. SDC 80, right? Vehicle issues. Transmission is done in my wife's car. Your car is paid off. That car isn't. Question is simple. Where do we turn? Fix it, trade in. Quite the bump in the road for us currently. Oh, 10K fixes approximately 5K. You have to pay the 10K no matter what. So you could spend that 5K on a different vehicle if you wanted to, but you should pay that in cash and you will still owe the 10K. So that's going to be up to you. You didn't say like year, how old it is, etc., etc. So there's no way to tell, but the problem is any used car, and nobody, at least not me, is gonna, or Dave is gonna tell you to buy a new car, and definitely not finance it, and definitely not roll in the negative equity from this thing with the bad transmission into it. So it depends on all that stuff. But you're rolling the dice with anything. Even a brand new car can have problems. So no matter what you do, you're rolling the dice. Because you could fix it, and then it has a fixed transmission, but then something else could go wrong with it. You just don't know, unfortunately. So you have to just roll the dice, make the best decision you can. The idea is not to get a working car for more than the amount you have to pay. So as cheap as possible if you're on baby step 2. Doesn't say what baby step either. So, step 2 since you owe 10K. Okay. Cool. Figured that out by myself. Neither add 2051 Roth and pre-tax matching. So I just found out that my employer matches both pre-tax and Roth contributions at 5%. Right. So, right, you have the choice of doing a Roth or a Roth 401k or a regular 401k. So like it's not into a Roth. If your employer's involved, it's not a Roth IRA. Roth IRA is an account you open up by yourself. That's got nothing to do with your employer. You would open up the Roth IRA by yourself, and you would put funds that have already been taxed by your employer into it. Just like you give it to the grocery store to buy groceries, you would give it to your brokerage to put in your Roth account. Let's see. So 5% pre-tax and 5% Roth contributions will be matched. Fun story about that is if it's a Roth 401k, they can't put that contribution into the Roth 401k, the match. They have to put the match amount into a standard 401k. Currently only doing the 5% pre-tax contribution. Okay, you'll have to check with your HR people to see if you can change it up, because Roth is always going to be the winner. Since both are matched, you do the match first is how it goes, and then Roth. Whether you have a Roth 401k option at work or if it's a Roth IRA, because tax-free growth is better than tax-free contributions, because if you have any appreciable amount of time in the market whatsoever, the growth is going to be way more than the contributions. Currently doing the debt snowball, so you shouldn't be doing this at all. Then you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't be investing at all. And putting all our extra towards the debt, and conflicted about giving up another 5% of my income, and not sure which route to take. Well, if you're going to follow Dave's advice, you're going to stop investing while you have debt and while you have no full emergency fund. Should I go ahead and do the Roth contribution since it's also matched? No. So I don't know. You again, you'd have to check with your HR, but I don't know that that means what you think it means. You think it means if you put $5 into a traditional 401k and then $5 into a Roth, that you're going to get the 5% on both of those. I don't know that it works that way. I don't know that it could work that way. Again, you check with your HR to see if it does that. It may be that you have to put the full amount you want matched, up to 5%. You have to put that in the same account. You put those in one account and then they match it. So I don't know that they match 5% twice if you have both of those. So check with them on that. But as far as doing it, Dave's going to say no, because if you're paying off debt, you shouldn't be investing at all. And let's check to make sure that's right. Let's see, investing, invest 15% of your household income. That's gross household income into retirement. That's step 4. And should you be on step 4 if you still have not completed step 2? The answer is negatory, good buddy. As always, your money, you can do with it what you want, but you're on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. You might be interested in Dave's advice. If not, more power to you. Should I ease off the gas at all? Maybe we're addressing gazelle intensivity here. Salary, $140,000, remote job. 35 years old, 800K net worth, broken gain as follows. 428 retirement, always maxed out. Okay. 331K brokerage, that's extra funds. And so what that means is that's non-retirement investing. So, I mean, it can be for your retirement as well, in your mind, but it doesn't count as retirement as far as the government is concerned, because it's not tax advantage in any way. You do pay tax on that, and then you put it in the brokerage, and then you will have to pay capital gains on that as well. So you have tax both ways on that. The rest are 2 paid off cars and various other small things. Okay, great. Have a boat, 60K in savings. Money market, part of the above, 331K. Okay. If that's the full emergency fund, you do need to have immediate access to that via either debit card or checking, or both, or checks, or both. Set aside emergency fund and a house down payment fund. Okay, so you're combining the two, and that's fine as long as you don't. You keep them separated in your mind. And you don't take any of the emergency fund later as part of the down payment. Been looking for 2+ years now, but prices are up and interest rates, so that's on pause. That's fine, but you don't know if you go 2 more years, house prices could still be the same price, and interest rates could still be up. So that's why Dave says you don't try to time the housing market. You buy a house when you can buy a house, and that would mean you have 20% down. If you're a first-time home buyer, 10% is okay, but you will have to pay PMI. That's private mortgage insurance, and unfortunately, that's insurance for the lender. If you don't pay, that's not insurance for you. I've no debt. Well, it's not obvious. People do all kinds of crazy stuff, but good. Invest about 60% of my gross income yearly between maxing out retirement and extra investing. Yeah, you should chill on that and save up more down payment and then buy a house. Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you overinvest instead of buying a house if you want a house? Expenses are low. That's great. Only about 25K a year. Okay. Remainder of my gross pay is consumed by taxes. Okay. but you're putting 60%, you're investing it between retirement and extra investing. So yeah, go down to 15% and put the rest of it in house fund. And then when you have enough down payment to take the mortgage down to where it's about 25% of your take home pay, then do that. I'm more or less in baby step 7 minus the paid off house. Well, if you are renting right now, then you are in baby step 7. Because you have no debt, you have the full emergency fund. It depends, you're investing, it depends on if you have kids, whether you've, not having kids, okay, no need for a college fund. You're in step 7, yeah, you are. You're in step 7. Unless you have a house currently. Didn't say you are renting, but I'm going to assume renting. And so, yeah, you're in step 7. Congratulations. My happy passion is racing cars. I really wanted to put about 3K in modifications in the car, which I plan on keeping 10 plus years. 3K isn't that bad. You can do budget 3K of fun money and do it. I told myself year after year, just do it next year and keep putting it off. Yeah, that's not your problem. The problem is if you want a house, you shouldn't be doing all that extra investing. I mean, granted, the investing is kind of like, it's in a money market. It's kind of like the house savings. So some of it is, but the part that you're putting in a brokerage, don't do that. Put that in house down payment, and then get a house if you want a house. And I'm assuming, I don't know, it's up to the individual, but if it was me, I would want a house more than any hobby like racing cars. So, and if you want a house, that's what you should do. Savor Me says no, it's just lifestyle inflation. You'll then want to spend 3K a year or more on it. 3K a year isn't bad on a 140K job. And being on step 7, you can budget 3K a year for that if you want. I give you permission. Less of a math problem, more behavior question. I 100% know the 3K wouldn't make a dent in my finances or savings, right? No much we say just do it. That's right, including Ramsey Certified Financial Coach. But how do I get over that feeling of increasing my 25K expenses to around 30K or whatever for 1 year? So it went from 3,000 to 5,000. Is that like when you get a boat? And of course, boat stands for break out another 1,000, that kind of thing. So see, we went from 3 to 5. So yeah, that's where you start to lose me if you don't have a handle on it. If you don't say, okay, it's going to be about 3, and you keep it about 3. And about 3 means it doesn't go above 4. Okay? So you need to keep a handle on that. Or shouldn't I and just keep my head down and saving, investing? So, yeah, I mean, at this point, it's too many things. Too many things. Would you like a house or not? Would you rather do car stuff and get crazy with that? Or would you rather have a bunch invested? Or would you rather have a house? So, I'm thinking you want to have a house. So you should divert funds to that and do not wait for the market to go down, because you don't know when or if it will ever. Alrighty. This from Schneid 1427, baby step 6 flare, and baby step 6 is a great step to be on. That means you just have to pay off that mortgage and then you'll be in step 7. But you might want to spend some of that cash on English 3rd grade. Okay, it's not advise on home savings, it's advice. ADVICE. Advice is the noun, advise is the verb. Alrighty. And it is not, like they say everywhere, a devices. Sephorin. We're in America here. Come on. Even American people are saying advices. Stupid. Okay. Hello. I'm new to this particular subreddit. Although I've listened to Dave in the past and think he has great advice, again, not advice, for the average American. Nope, it's good advice for everybody. I'm kind of on baby step 6. This person I am not going to give that benefit of the doubt to like I did to the other person. And I ended up being right about that. Actually, I didn't, because he still never said he's renting. Just that they were saving a down payment. So I don't know if that's for upgrading a current mortgage or if that means getting first house. So I do not know that. But here, the kind of on baby step 6, except I don't own a home yet at all. Okay, that's not the same person? I don't think. Unless they have 2 different names. So that's not the same person, but that's the same thing. If you are choosing to rent, if you don't have a house yet, then you're on step 7. Until you decide you want a house, and then you're on step 3B. Again. And so that's the only going to a lower baby step that's allowed. Otherwise, you can't ever take out debt again. You can't go below. If you use emergency fund, you have to build that back up as soon as possible. You don't ever stop investing. And you want to help your kids if you have kids with college, if you choose to do that. Wife and I are saving up for our first home, okay? And would like any tips or advice. Again, how many times are you going to do advise incorrectly? The community might have to either get us there. Oh, any tips or advice the community might have, gotcha, to either get us there faster or at least some motivation to keep up what I'm doing. Well, if you want to go there faster, then you won't be, then you'll take the advice even though you don't consider yourself an average American. It works for everybody, no matter if you're average or if you think you're better than average. It still works for everybody. 28 engineers, great. Combined net 200K, great. Okay, so what's the deal? 15% going, so they're over investing. If you want a house, stop the over investing. Invest 15% of household income, and that's it. And the rest of the extra money you would save for a house if you want to buy a house. Looking at the problem. Spreadsheet and numbers kind of guy, okay. You need to realize that you're doing it wrong, for one. And second, just like the other person, how much do you want a house? If you'd rather invest more than get that house, then keep doing it. And why ask then? They're now closer to the 375K and interest rates have only gone up. Right. And again, just like I said for the other one, if you wait a year, if you wait 2 years, if you wait 3 years, if you wait 4 years, it could be the same, or it could even go up higher. Prices and interest rates could go higher. We do not know. And again, Dave does not recommend you time any market with the investing. You need to do that on schedule, whether the market is up or down. You buy on schedule. You don't try to time that. You don't try to time the housing market. You buy a house when you can afford the house. So you can't count on it going down at any time. And so if you own a house, you get a house. Let's see. Order our below 25% of our take-home pay. We'll need to put down somewhere between 80 and 90%. And at that point, just save for it all. So – We've been cycling our savings through 3 months T-bills to help maintain the value while keeping decent liquidity. See, that's just too much because you're over investing. So stop over investing and buy a house if you want a house. Near another promotion, great. Okay, that's great. Besides just telling me to take a part-time job with losing feet, that's, I mean, you make plenty of money. You're just investing, over investing. Extra advise again. It's advice. ADVICE for getting to this goal a little faster. Looking for low-hanging fruit I might have missed and spread money based around. Stop over investing. Limit it to 15% of household income and get a house instead. Yeah, get a house instead. Alrighty, Scary General 2350. What should my mom do? No retirement. Mom is single, 52 years old. If you are breathing, there is still time. She works 40 hours a week, $30 an hour. She has $40,000 of student loan debt. She rents her home. Currently has $150K in cash that she has saved over the years, but no retirement. She's just starting a retirement plan with her current job. Well, I'm going to say baby steps, even for 52, even somebody that starts at 52. So that 150,000 goes down to $1,000 and you chuck 149,000. Well, you don't need to. If you only have the student loan debt, you pay that off today. Today. Should she pay off her student loan and buy a home? Only if she wants to own a house. Not invest. I mean, it definitely shouldn't be in just cash. So let's take that 150 through the baby steps. So step 2 would be pay off the student loans. So then that's 110 left, and I skipped 1 because she'll have this all in one go. So that's the student loan debt. Assuming no other debt, then that leaves 110,000. And so then you take your 3 to 6 months of expenses and you subtract that from it. And then, yeah, she can invest the whole thing if she wants. After you get to step 3, after you get that done, then you're on step 4. And Dave is fine with older people being more aggressive. So you can be more aggressive and just plop that whole thing into, definitely keep out the emergency fund part of it. But I mean, you would have, what, 110, so $30,000 or $30 an hour, trying to get a ballpark for what expenses might be. So 40 in 20, let's just say 20 to make it easy math. So 60. So there'd be 90,000 in cash left. So you could put 50,000 into retirement, max out the first year already, or you can just start it out of every paycheck at work and then max out a Roth IRA for 2023. You could max that out. And so you'd have both of those investments, and then the rest you could put for a down payment on a small house. So you can do both. Can invest, can do all 3 of these. Student loan debt gone, investing, and buying a house. Can do all 3 of those at the same time. Let's see. And it says step 7, here I come. No house. Was that because of the if you decide to be a renter your whole life, that's fine. You just skip from 4, and then if you don't have kids, you skip that step. or if you don't want to help them, or if they're adults in some of our cases, then that's up to you. You can help them after the fact, whatever you want to do on that. But then if you're not buying a house, there's no house to pay off, you're on to the next baby step, and that's 7. So there you go. Baby step 2 completed. Posted a thread about this a month ago. Okay. Wife ended up getting a 35. I think I read this one. 35K inheritance. Managed to persuade her to pay off all the non-mortgage debt first instead of buying a car. Excellent. Good job. As long as she doesn't hate you now, that's great. Our plan is to now save for the baby step 3 emergency fund. Yep. Then for the car. Excellent. She still wants the car next year sometime, so we'll have to save aggressively. However, I'll take this current win. What are your expenses that'll take you a year? Oh, well, it is November, so I'll give you a break on that. But without any debt, you were able to pay off all the non-mortgage debt. So without any debt, you would probably be able to save up pretty quickly for that, I would imagine, because all the debt payments could be going straight to your emergency fund. So it may be happening faster than you realize. JPEG Machina. That's not how you spell Machina. It's M-A-C-H-I-N-A, but that's all right. Maybe that's a different thing there, inside joke or something. Who knows? People do stuff that's incorrect for fun sometimes, even myself. What would you do financially? Didn't ask what would Dave do. Hello everyone, I have a 70K in my savings. I have 2 debts. Well, I wouldn't do that. Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball, which means smallest to largest. Step 2A, save $70,000 or whatever he said. That's not on there. You're doing it wrong. And this is where Dave says, pay those off today. Again, that's today. T-A-D-A-Y. Today. I live with my parents but want to move out soon. What would be a smart financial decision? To still pay those off today, and then you won't have debt, and then all of your income can go to saving to move out soon. Alrighty, old storage, 3247. 401k to pay off debt. No, you never touch retirement accounts except to avoid foreclosure or bankruptcy, and sometimes, depending on the type of bankruptcy, they will force you to do that anyway. But that's the only time. You don't tap retirement to skip step 2. You don't get to do that. It's too much taxes and penalties on it. So that's a negatory. Good buddy on that. Christian Pilgrim, 84. Help making a financial decision. Okay. Long story short, I have 3 debts I really want to get paid off. Pay them off. They are around $28,000 and breakdown. $6,500. Seems like a car payment. $9,500. Maybe another car payment. And $13,000. Don't know whether I want these gone, and then we'll do debt free. I currently have the extra funds to pay $500 a month on the 1st. Yep. And plan on rolling that entire $500 in next debt. Well, that's how it works. That's the debt snowball. Good job. Something is going to be very incorrect here. I get a feeling. So yeah, that's how everything you've said here is good so far. The question I have is, I currently put around $5,500 in a retirement account a year. Yep. So you're doing it wrong, my friend. Stop in retirement investing while you pay the debt off. You said you wanted to really want to get it paid off. So you make up your mind if you want to follow Dave's advice and really get it paid off. Or do you want to be investing so much that you're not going to take Dave's advice? So it's your money, your choice. You get to choose. I want to continue that account, but at the start of the year, I can change my contributions. You can't already? Would it be smarter to lower, though, to not do them at all? And to throw all of it at those debts. You throw all of it. So stressed and broken over this. This is not... I mean, this is not you don't have food to eat. This is not you don't have shelter or transportation. This is not any of that. So it should not be enough to stress and break you. If this can stress and break you, then I would recommend counseling. Seriously, not making fun of the person, but this is not should not stress and broken you. I mean, I know the kids today can't handle anything, and so maybe that's part of it, but that should not stress and break you, because that is not a problem. You just decide what you want to do, if you'd rather invest more or take Dave's advice and get rid of those debts more, because you said you wanted to do both. Which one do you want to do more? You get to decide. It's your money. Baby Steps app, there's not one, I don't think. Is it? The app Baby Steps used to be free, and it had, oh, is there one? It had everything in it showing my completion date. I got on today to check it, and now I have to pay for it. Is this something new? When did this change? It is the every dollar app now. It's still free. It's an orange icon with steps on it. App is called Every Dollar. Maybe you have the wrong app, or I do. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see what's up, Baby Steps app. Baby Steps app. Part of Ramsey Plus. So you get that for free. It seems like because it has the budget thing right there, it seems like that's every dollar. Although it doesn't say every dollar on there, you would think it would say that on here. 14-day free trial but that's for Ramsey Plus. So unknown, but I didn't even know there was a separate thing. But since it has the budgeting in there, I'm wondering if it's like it used to be the Baby Steps app and they just kept that name as well. Do not know about that. This is the first time hearing about that, though. If that exists. Maybe that was something that happened before every dollar. Let's see. We are at... Oh, I think I just looked at this one the other day. That's why it's light green. Can someone provide specific good growth mutual funds, ETFs that are recommended by Ramsey Solutions? I genuinely want to go look at performance and specs on them. Dave nor myself are licensed financial advisors, so we can't and shouldn't give you specific funds. Now, some of these 11 comments here, maybe they gave them some, but generally you just want it for free without having to do it yourself, and that's fine. Maybe somebody gave you some fun names, but that doesn't mean those are the best. So, but if you're going to look at the performance and specs on them, then maybe you'll find out which one's the best. But if you know enough to know how to look at the performance and specs on them, why can't you find them yourself, is what my question would be. Just FYI, Ramsey Trusted Providers pay a lot of money to be that. There's very little to do with having the heart of a teacher. Yeah, they do have to pay for it. Definitely. They do have to pay for the referrals. but they are vetted. So, and granted, you will have some people that get, some of these people, trusted providers, get vetted, and then they go off and do whatever they want. They do what makes them the most money instead of giving you the Ramsey advice stuff. So that does happen, and if that happens, definitely call Dave or the customer care line and let them know about that. So that they can take care of that. But yeah, that definitely happens. They say the right things to get the endorsement, but then they do whatever they want to / makes them the most money. So yeah, that does happen, and we get that. People have called and said that, and people have been in the chat and said that as well. So yeah, unfortunately, you have to know enough to know that they're giving you the wrong advice. Clean Zebra 3311, motivation for a slow grind in baby step 2. Why does it have to be a slow grind? Speed it up. Be gazelle intense. Wife and I have significantly increased expenses and live just north of Boston. Yep. Well, if you don't have significantly increased income to match those increased expenses, then you might have to move. We're breaking even every month right now with little able to go to debt, 200, 300 a month. Yeah, that's gonna be very, very long slog. Our goal is 38K in a year, combined income 120K. Yeah, I mean, just north of Boston, you might have to move an hour from Boston. Our total debt, not including student loans, is 30 to 38. Okay, so they're hoping they can pay that off in a year. A slow grind isn't really, I mean, if a year is fine, like the average is 1 to 3 years for paying off debt. Our total debt, including student loans. Okay, with the 1-bedroom apartment. Plan on buying a house once we pay off this debt. Well, nope. Sorry about that. There's going to be more slow grind. You got to save the full emergency fund, and you got to save the down payment. And we will tackle the student loans after. No. Hopefully the market cool down when you need a bigger place for your baby. No, you don't. Little babies don't need a separate bedroom. So no, you don't. But you could get it for what you're paying for that apartment. You could get it. It just has to be not just north of Boston. It has to be way north of Boston. $13.25 for rent. Yeah, and then the car debt, and see, the debt just makes it that much harder. But the debt, you know, while definitely being a problem, that's not your problem. For your main problem is you have a which would be a great, the 120K. That would be great in Ohio. That would be great in Arkansas. But the problem is you don't live in America. You live on the coasts, and those are crazy. So, but paying off 38K will clear up everything that we have balances for, right? You have balances for the student loans too. So you have to include those. Those don't get, oh, no, yeah, you have to include the student loans. That doesn't, so what motivates you to stay on track when the game? So do you have any tricks when you feel overwhelmed? Yeah, to not be in a high cost of living area with not a high cost of living matching income. So that's up to you to fix. Either get more income or move down in house, move down in living. Even though you're just doing an apartment right now, you can't have everything. You can't have the high cost of living area and the low cost of living income. And because you won't have a low cost of living housing situation there. HELOC to consolidate credit cards and personal loans. That's our Anon today. Yeah, I guess he does say more of a UH, a Tade. Does he? What does he say? Tade. I'll have to listen next time. I think it's Tade. Tade. Sounds like a little bit of both. HELOC. Okay, so no HELOC. That stands for Home Equity Line of Credit, and you do not want to tap that. You're taking a loan out of your house, so that's like a double loan on your house. And you don't consolidate it. And the reason Dave calls it a consolidation loan is because it tricks you into thinking you've done something and you've just moved the debt around. It was all over with. Over with is one word. And I'm stuck with about, you're not stuck with it. Okay, so let me start with the beginning. So I have quite a bit of credit card debt that was largely unavoidable. Trying to help one of my children get the help they need over the past couple years. Okay, is it something that was needed to be done, or just something that you chose to do? Those are two different things. So, I mean, if it's something medical or something like that, sure. But so many people say they need it, like they need to take out student loans. That's false. Or they need to buy a new car, or they need to get a new truck. That's false. All right, so stuck with about 35K in credit card debt. Yeah, because you did that. So you chose to do that. Regardless if it was for a need or not, you did that. So you're not stuck with it. You have it of your own volition. 20K in personal loans. Interest rate doesn't matter. I know Ramsey doesn't like HELOCs because it makes you feel like you did. Exactly, when you really didn't. Right? I'm pretty maxed out where I have to work 70 hours a week to pay all my bills. So without that, see, so that's why that helped one of your children. That should have been, that needs to be something that was a definite need for you to do that. And if it was, and if you got to work 70 hours to pay all your bills, then you do it. I can't really make strides paying things down. I'm just surviving any advice. Yeah, you got to do some extreme things to move the needle extremely. So you got to cut expenses to the bone. You're already working 70 hours. If there's anything else you can do to bring in any money at all, sell everything. If you have a house, you might have to sell it. So, we didn't get all the details. Again, and if you're in a high cost of living area, move. You don't get a pass on math, just because you took out too much debt. Unfortunately. So there's no easy button for that. So you have to, as I said, you want to make a drastic change, you have to make a drastic change. Poopy Butto, 2069. What kind of segments do you wish they did? I wish they did check-ins with people who called in the past. A lot of people say that. But they just don't, because they don't get like callback numbers from people. They have in a few cases, like for some debt-free streamers and such, because they did like turning point episodes for them, or if they wanted to include them in segments for FPU, that kind of thing they would do. But like in doing the daily show, I don't know that the screener has time to get all kinds of extra information on them. Even if the people didn't follow it around, I think it'd be really entertaining for Dave to call people a year or so after they called into the show to see where they're at now. Yeah, we never get closure on that. Yeah, we never do. Just like the same way, like 99.9% of the time, we only hear one side of the story as well. So yeah, we don't get to have that. So a lot of people would like that segment, but they apparently have chosen not to do that. Otherwise, we'd see it. Debt-free Scream. Who has experience calling the show to do the debt-free Scream? Paid on my car in 2.5 years. Credit card debt, any class flow 2 degrees. Officially debt-free at 25. Well, guess what you get, sir? You get the... Or ma'am. No walrus could be either. Excellent. Good job. All right. Whoops. Alrighty. So yeah, you do have to schedule that. You can schedule that through the website. And they may have a backlog, so it might not be something you can do. You really need to do it before you get debt-free and schedule it for after you're going to be debt-free, that kind of thing. To do it soon after you actually get debt-free. So yeah, you got to do that. But no, I did not call for that. So I don't know exactly how it worked, but so I don't know what question they would be asking. Let's see if the person asks for or gives any extra information. OP, Carl's about, okay, blah, blah, blah. Nope, it's just talking about it again. Okay. So it doesn't say what exactly they want to know, but hopefully that was answered for them by somebody. Paul Engineer 89, the baby steps. Hey, what about that? Not sure why people don't like Dave Ramsey. First off, he's an entertainer, but his advice is pretty simple, right? Yep. Extended baby steps with extra explanation. Fun times. What? What is this 3? So he makes step 2 all of these words. It combines. I don't know why he's trying to redo the baby steps. I don't know. Other than the very aggressive debt repayment, nothing you suggest is out of the ordinary. No, it's all out of the ordinary because people don't do it. People don't do that stuff. Not normal people. Some of his more controversial statements are, for instance, many college degrees are utterly worthless, right? Actually, negative income, right? Or you take out the student loans. Say you're a female, you take out the student loans. And then you, let's say best situation, you get the degree. Then you get married and then you want to stay home with your kid. But you still have that student loan. Another of course would be males and females. You take out the student loans and then you don't graduate. Nobody considers that when they take out those loans. Let's see, clinical labs. What about it? Similar in the cost benefit is completely unrealistic, right? Usually. I mean, but some of it can work. Like you wouldn't want to go to a private college and be a social worker, that kind of thing, because you'll only be making $40,000 a year. How many people I know with full-time career still have student loans a decade later? Yep, that's normal. Right, as stupidly class. Okay, all have horror stories. Okay. All right, just wanted to rant. I get it, but I don't know why you wouldn't just do the baby steps or like try to restate them and such. No clue. Every dollar app, baby step 2 flare, valuable rip 8673. I can't connect to it for some reason. It says error when I try. I have Arrowhead Credit Union Bank, never heard of it. I'm not sure if that's the reason it won't connect every time I try. It says try at a different time, okay? Don't know. In order to connect to your bank, you do have to have the paid for version. You can't connect with the free version. So maybe that's the issue. Although I would think I think they would program it to say requires the paid for version to do that. Or it could be you can't connect to them. Although if you can choose it from a list inside the app, I would think it would be able to. So it could also be something with the credit union itself. So check with the credit union to make sure that they aren't restricting you somehow. Traditional plum 239. What time is it? Oh, it's just been running my mouth for an hour and 21 minutes so far. I guess I'll go ahead into at least an hour and a half. What should I do with 50K? Looking for some advice. The only debt I have is 2 cars, roughly 60K, and 150K on a mortgage that is rented and paying for itself. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. So the Dave advice is going to be to sell the rental to pay off the cars. I have 36K in Acorns ETF, so you could cash out that. 10K in single stocks. If it's single stocks, Dave would say cash out that. If it's not in a retirement account, 5K in savings, and 170K in retirement accounts. I want to pay the cars with the 50K. Do it, yeah. Just receive a trust. Yeah, save. Yeah, pay out the cars with the 50K and get 10K from somewhere. Acorns or the single stocks. Do that. Don't tap retirement accounts. Father-in-law says put it in money market. Nope, but he thinks I should do a hard money loan. Nope. Neither think pay off cars. Well, that's because they're trying to be normal and think they know how to do money. And I would do what Dave would do, and that would be to not have a rental that's on a mortgage, for one thing, and definitely not to have car debt for another. And so Dave would advise that you apply any money to the baby steps, and you do it this way, is the answer. It's very easy. It's very simple, just like the guy said before. Dave's Path to Wealth. This from Beastie Cheese. Okay. Dave's Path to Wealth. Are there any data nerds out there that could put together an estimate of how Dave built traction on his wealth after bankruptcy? What I've heard him say is that he cash flowed enough to pay for a rental by putting money into index funds. Yep. Then cashed it out, paid for the property in full, then rolled the rental income into index funds with other. Right, that's what he does. Now that is the only time he recommends an index fund. For retirement, he recommends managed funds because 40% of managed funds beat the index. And so why wouldn't you try to find those instead of just settling for less money? But he does advise index funds when you're saving for a purchase. The issue is you have to have 5 years to do that. So you have to not need the money for 5 years. So you have to have a savings period of 5 years before you need to buy whatever item you're using the market to save for. And so yes, he does say a S&P 500 index fund for saving for a purchase like a house or something like that. Anything you can wait 5 years to buy, you can use the market for a savings account. But I guess we're talking about the 80s, 90s, so income and house prices is completely different. True, but it doesn't matter. You can still do the same things. It might just might not happen as much as you want. What you would love to know is what his estimated income has been. Who knows? I mean, he was already doing like the radio show and stuff by the time he bought another rental, I think. I don't know though. How long? It's too many variables to figure out. Then purchase a property. What were average house prices during that time? See, none of that matters. If you're thinking about doing it for yourself, you can do the math with today's numbers and your income. And then if your income's enough, then you know how much you need to make to get it done in as fast a time as you want to get it done. So yeah, so you do that. You don't know how to do that math? I'm really keen, that's very British, in this case Australia mate. I'm really keen to have some comparable data to see how long it would take the cash flow enough to buy a property, and then how long after that could you have earned enough from index funds to buy another. It depends on, I'm not clever enough to work it out. Okay, great. All right, did anybody, 39 comments. I wonder if anybody actually did the math. Alrighty, what time is it? 4 more minutes for an hour and a half. From Sean _1 or I, what is that? Oh, that's a T, Sean T. You get it? Baby step 7, flare the boomer wealth transfer myth. Okay, Business Insider article there. I thought this was an interesting article and why we're unlikely to see it happen despite all the stories I see in the news to the contrary. Also, that story brought up some important points regarding the importance of estate planning, being open with our heirs regarding inheritance. So Dave recommends, he doesn't recommend, like having all the drama of the reading of the will after the person dies. He reads it to them every year. They have their, every year they have their, what if something happens the day of meeting. And the high cost of long-term care. All right. True, but yeah, I mean, some of it's going to happen. You're always going to get that to happen. There's a lot of boomers that don't have any wealth to transfer, though. So, but that is going to happen. And that's great. Hopefully you do have wealth to transfer. That's the idea. That's the whole idea, that you have wealth to transfer to your heirs. Factorial Anova, 23 male with great financial health. Do I maintain my investment position or pay off my student loan? Having a student loan is not great financial health. So you believe, and there you go, VTI and XPS, index funds, whatever. You think you're doing fine, so just keep doing that. Or if you want Dave's advice, that's to not have any debt. That one was a quick one. Icy Tip, 1696. Baby step 5, flare, 529 versus ESA. No, Dave Ramsey recommends one of these two is called saving option, but which one to choose? If you make less than 110K, right? Then you got the threshold. Yeah, you just pull up the con. It looks like you know the pros and cons of it already. So you just decide which one fits your situation better. It seems like you know about it already, but you can Google Ramsey 529 versus ESA, just that, and see what that says. And in some situations, it's better to do 529, which is a state plan. In other situations, it's better to do the ESA, which is a national plan. But the 529, I believe, is more. Oh, let's do it. Why not? What is it? Ramsey. Whoops. ESA. Whoops. Versus 529. See, there it is already. There you go. Look, right there. ESA versus 529. The same exact title as your title of your thing. Where is the pro and cons list? Is it? Okay, both are investment vehicles. Both have tax advantages. Both can be transferred to siblings of the beneficiary, and that's good in case college doesn't happen for the person it is for. There we go. Look, it's the there we go, the list right there. So you can check this and make your the ESA is $2,000 per child per year. And the 529 is no limit. So, 17,000 is the limit unless you want to pay the gift tax. But again, that's up to you. So it looks like it doesn't look like you can do apprenticeship and homeschool stuff. For the you can't do that for the ESA. So again, you look at all of this, and you look at if there's any state-specific rules that you have, because it's different in every state. But other than that, that would be able to tell you. The Google knows everything. Time is it? 8:31. I went over. Oh, let's just do one more. How much is too much to pour repairing a car you own? Like, it's the same answer as the previous one. It's a crapshoot, really. If you pay X amount to fix your car, it could break down again the next day with a different problem. If you decide, well, that's enough for this car, I'll put the money into a different used car instead, then that one could break down the next day as well. So it's a crapshoot, and so you have to decide for yourself. Is that a beater is not guaranteed to not have issues in a month. At least with your car, you know the history and a little of what to expect, but you don't know. It could have issues in a month as well, just like you thought. So you're smarter than you thought you were. So you already knew the answer. Let's do another one. Michi the Cleaner. Frequent poster on here. Inconvenience. We had an issue with our HVAC system and dishwasher. It was such a pain to have to have someone come out, but there's no better feeling than to pay for the repairs in cash. Yes, excellent. Payment debited from our account, and it's over. It felt so good to not have to wait until the end of the month to pay the credit card off. I can get used to this. Great. Cool. Save for a house down payment versus pursue side hustle. Your side hustle should be built at the speed of cash, not like the side hustle should pay for itself from $1. So you don't want to be taking any money away from debt. You don't want to do any startup costs for a side hustle. Like, maybe $10 if you need to start with something. Couldn't complete baby step 3 soon. Okay, great. Why do you need to do the sort of baby step 3 is save for a down payment on the home? No, that's everybody's baby step 3. Gazelle Intense. Okay, great. My day job to complete baby step 1. I put a creative directing project of my own on pause. Okay. Essentially a side hustle. Yeah, massive time commitment to complete. If you have the time, great. Your time is free. But we also like to purchase a condo soon. Well, see, this is only your time. It takes 12 to 18 months of continued gazelle intensity to get this down payment. Optimistically, probably less. Oh, I see. So you're trying to choose. Well, you choose what you want more. And also ask your spouse what they want more. And probably it's going to be the house. So you're probably going to be waiting on that. But you never know. So, but that's something you got to decide. Hi guys, hey guys, I'm a 22-year-old living in Canberra, Australia. No, Australia. Can't do it. Australia, mate. I've been listening to Dave Ramsey for a little while now, and I believe I'm on baby step 3 without even knowing about it. I have about 4,500. I don't know where all the England and the Australia. I don't know where all the consonants went to. About it. I have about 4,500 saved up, no debt, and want to start being frugal. Having a real budget and saving toward a house. Do it then. If you don't have any debt, you got no debt. If you have no debt, you're on and you started saving 3 to 6 months of expenses, but you don't yet have 3 to 6 months of expenses, you are on baby step 3. Congratulations. Difficult writer. That's a paperback writer. That is by the Beatles there. And the Beatles. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll try to keep this short. And I saw her. No, that's not the one. What is it? Oh, yeah. I want to hold your hand. I ran some Dave Ramsey math. Mortgage being 1/4 your take home, 20% Dane, and a 15-year loan. Where we live, where our jobs are, our take home pay is $8,000. She a teacher, account manager, student loans, and 1 car payment. Okay, Dave isn't going to tell you to buy. Oh, are you looking for buying a house? No inherited money, neither is wealthy. We've both been out of college just a few years. Average house in region about 400K. And that waits until you pay off those cars. Or student loans and car. 1 car. You have to pay those off before you buy a house. Sorry. So you got that, and then you have to contend with the high cost of living there. I love Dave and agree with most of what he says, but he's not going to let me buy too much house while I have debt. Him wanting you to not buy a house that's not going to be a blessing, that's going to be a horror instead, while you have debt and no full emergency fund either, that's realistic. What you want to do is unrealistic. If you live in a high cost of living area, you have to have a high cost of living income. And if you do have a high cost of living, 8 times 12 is 96. So you're probably about combined income of 110. So that means you can 110 is 220, and then so like 275. So you can do about a 3,000. So you got to buy low end and safe areas coming around 360. So you need way more of a down payment. Yep. There's no way we'd be able to save this much before we're 50 at the rate of cost of living. Well, then you got to make more money. You make more money, or you move, or you lower your expectations, whichever is easiest. All of the above, probably. See, they say Dave is being unrealistic. They're the ones that are being unrealistic. Because you don't get a pass on math just because you want to have something. What you want to do is unrealistic. That'll be a geek clip. Beat her car for the win, except when I stumbled upon it and I'll cut that part out. But her car for the win. Oh, beat her car, excuse me. I'm here to combat the beaters are dangerous. I don't want to take it to a shop. And then I've bought several used cars since becoming debt free. I have a 2004 Toyota Corolla purchased in 2018 for $3,400. Excellent. Bought it at 125 miles. Yep. Still drive it. There you go. Debt free since 2019. Excellent. No car payments is one of the major keys to being debt free. Absolutely. Had to get a new starter, battery, timing belt, oil pan, gasket, shift cable, bushing, and tires. Right, total of all that work is $2,500. I spent $2,500 in a span of 5 years fixing my beater. Worth. Car payment was going to be way more. And also that was cash flowed and not debt. So win, 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 win all around. Savings relative, 1096. Advice needed on how to proceed. Baby steps, I'm guessing. Trying to decide if I need to go scorched earth or not. If it's step 2, yes. Step 3, yes. Please advise and be calm. Oh, they used the verb correctly. Excellent. And be calm. I know I made some mistakes. We all have. So no problem. Gross is $187 a year. Good income. I hope you don't live in a suitable area for that, because then you can't afford houses there. Currently I have 6% going into 401k. Debts, you shouldn't have anything going into 401k while you shouldn't have 29k in savings while you have debt, so you are doing it wrong. So I was right. So this is how to proceed. This right here. You just Google it, it'll come up. Or again, you go to RamseySolutions.com, you click on products, and look, there it is right there, and it comes up, and you don't even have to pay for it. It's right there, free for your convenience. Okay, so 19 more minutes, and it'll be another 2-hour show. which is fine because I don't get to do the after show much anymore. Is this a bad idea? P. Wolf, 1771, baby step 3B. I feel like, it doesn't matter what you feel like, it depends on what the facts are when you're talking about money. Trying to afford a house that isn't going to be a financial prison is damn near impossible. You know, if you live in a high cost of living area and you don't have a high cost of living income, then sorry, tough. I've got about 60K saved and just started a job that has a 4% match. Would I be crazy to just do the match and pause my Roth IRA contributions so I can try to double, maybe even triple this house fund the next couple years? I'm seriously considering throwing it all in an index fund and just aggressively contributing to it until it's close to 200K. You'll still have to pay taxes on it. You can't use your retirement account to do that. You shouldn't. My base salary is 70 and we earn quarterly commissions. I'll get my first one in November. So again, this is going to be what houses cost in your area, and if you want to buy one for more than you want. Does it say base salary is 70 and we earn, so you don't say if this is just you or you have a spouse that is working as well, but let's pretend it's just you. So 70, so the approximate amount of house you can buy, thanks to my pal Sid, and the handy dandy salary to house price ratio there, which is 2.5. So you multiply the 70 by 2.5, so that's 70 and 70 is 140 and 35, so that's $175,000 mortgage is what you can have. So whatever the house costs, then you pull that out. So it looks like if you say close to 200K, the 200K better not be the down payment that you would need on that, because then that's a negatory good buddy. Let's find out about that. 40 retirement savings currently north of 400K. Yeah, you're not going to double in it or triple in 2 years now. Yeah, what city? Exactly. 60K could be 20% down payment or it could be 5% down payment. Exactly. What I'm realizing is 20% down isn't enough. Right. 20% down will get you out of paying the PMI. So that's good, and that's what you should shoot for. But if I still have a 240 mortgage, then I'm house poor. Right, because what did I say it should be? 175. So the mortgage needs to be 175. You can't do the things that make the life worth living. Right, you'll be a prisoner in your house. Right, house poor. You understand it, so... I mean, this often happens in Dallas. Not the worst, but... you know, check the outskirts of Dallas. The roommate thing, so looking for extra money there. I don't think that's necessary. The person's not giving up the match, so that's fine. You can do what you want. It's going to take you a long time to buy a house. Yeah, if you want to buy it that much. 40. So that's up to you. 6 months in a different account. I love my sinking funds. It's great. Just wants to do, you know, you want to do what you want to do. You want to have everything. You can't have everything. So you can't buy, you know, Dave wouldn't say buy a house as expensive as you want to get. House has to match your income. What are Dave Ramsey's credentials? Not a hater, general question. Well, he's been doing financial advice for 30 years. Before that, he was in real estate since he was a teenager. And also he went through bankruptcy, and so knows what it's like. And he fought the bankruptcy for 3 years trying to pay off his debt. And so, well, not fought the bankruptcy, but tried to not do bankruptcy. Tried to pay off as much debt as he could. And it was I believe it was in the multiple millions. I believe is how much actual debt he has. So he sold his the houses that he was holding and probably at a loss. And so he got that thing down, I think he said, to around 200,000, something like that. It was something really small. Like, it started in multiple millions, and he got the amount he owed down to 200,000, and then they wouldn't give him any more time. And so he's had the experience of having been through that. And then he had the experience of following his own advice while he crafted it. And so he is, as he said, he's an expert of his opinion, and the show is all of his opinions on what you should do with your money. So let's see what it was 4 million, current net worth 55 million, 200 million, 55. Wikipedia. No, he speaks a lot about debt because he was over leveraged in his own portfolio. That's right. And eventually collapsed because of it, right? Then he had to rebuild it, right? And he did so without any leverage at all, which is the plan. So he's an expert on doing things without debt. And so that's all he's advising on. He's not advising on anything else. So he's got perfect credentials for what his show is. Cron 7. No, J Cron 7. Pausing retirement. I was just probably not the actual being retired. Probably mean retirement investing. Probably. I was watching some Dave YouTube stuff, and a few months back he told someone if they started investing $15K around 40 years old, they would be a multi-millionaire at 65. Does anyone have experience with this, and is it okay to contribute up to the match? Let's see if this person says what baby step they're on, because it matters. Yes, that's 25 years of just basic compound calculator, 40, and made 60 per year and invested 15%. So somebody already did this and received 5% match. You invested in just a Vanguard total market index, which you should not do, because that's the Dow Jones, that's the total market, and the S&P beats that. So by now you would have just over $1 million. So that one's not a multi-millionaire, it's just barely a million. That's fine. Oh, multi? Yeah, but not if you do the total market. You have to do the right funds. And you can even do better than the S&P 500. As I said, 40% of managed funds beat the index. So find those as well. So yes, you can do that in 25 years. So you don't have debt. Debt makes it, because you got to pay that off first. So that makes it take longer. 10 minutes. Wallpapers daints. Understand, Dave Ramsey's study showed that most millionaires made paying off their debts mortgage a very big priority. What are some things that could go wrong if you drag out your mortgage, only pay it off after 30 years? I guess what's confusing me is this. I go to Boggleheads. Well, any other subreddit is going to be debt. They're going to do debt, and yes, they're going to, and maxing out your Roth IRA, 401k before tackling the mortgage. Yeah, that is debt leverage because you have debt on the house. So that's debt leverage. Dave doesn't do debt leverage. And so there's no debate needed. Dave doesn't do debt leverage. Most other financial people recommend that. However, I know that Dave Ramsey always says debt equals risk. That's because it does. And so I'm trying to get the picture clear in my mind. What specific risk is he referring to? What are some examples? Well, one of the risks is that you only pay it off after 30 years and pay a crap ton more interest. That's one of the things. And guess what? A bunch of the people that say, well, I'll pay it off like a 15. I just want a 30-year so I can have more flexibility. While the real reason is they want a 30-year mortgage so they can buy a bigger house. And bigger house means bigger expenses, et cetera, et cetera. So that could go wrong. It could be paid off in 30 years just like it's supposed to be. So that's not necessarily wrong, but what's wrong is you're paying way, way, way more interest than you would on a 15. Example, what could go wrong if you ever can't pay the mortgage? Right. Or what legal risks are there associated with you not being the one owner of the house? The other person could not help pay for it, and then you are stuck with the whole bill. So the law doesn't punish the person that doesn't care about it. The one that ends up being hurt the most is the one that cares about their credit score, that cares about being lawful, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's why you don't buy a house with someone you're not married to. Let's see what the other stuff is. Seems like basically if you can't pay the mortgage at any point, you need to scramble to sell it quickly, but what else could go wrong? You could be paying all that interest. Do your mortgage at 6.5% interest. Do it at 15 years and then see how much more money it is at 30 years. So that's what could go wrong. But the main thing is it's debt leverage. If you invest while you still have a house payment. Annual skirt. While we have too much, baby step 5 flare. While we have too much car debt, then you're not in step 5. The idea of a beater needs to stop being used. It's fatal advice. False. Oh, maybe this is in general advice. Okay. Overly invested in the cars. No, just because you had a problem with the beater doesn't mean everybody else will. So, no, that's false. Abject _advice _8572. Car question. After 23 years, it's time to start looking at a replacement vehicle. Okay, I have about 10K put away for a car and I'm debt free. Great. Should I go to a dealership? No. Dealer's going to get their money. That's going to raise your price. The best place to buy or sell a car is private sale. Because if the dealer's involved, dealer's going to they're going to get their teeth in it. They do take a bite, don't they? Yes, they do. And so that way you get all the money, or you don't have to pay extra for the car on top of what the person selling it wants. Find someone private sale is always better for both selling and buying. I plan to have my mechanic look at it first. Absolutely, you do that. Absolutely, you do that. You don't take the dealership. If you do a dealership, you don't take their word for it. The car's fine. You have your guy look at it. How much term life insurance do I really need? New and listen to baby steps. This is from the_silks. And saw that a term life policy is recommended if you have kids. If you have anybody dependent on your income, you have to have life insurance. If your spouse does not work, and if he or she dies, and you would have to replace their services, as in childcare, etc., 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 you need life insurance on that person as well. So, and what he says is you get 10 times the amount of your income. That way you throw that bad boy into the market, and then that generates 10% average annually to replicate that income. Looking at 20-year, don't plan to renew after it's done, as I'll be 59. Income is 190K. And it seems to like the 10x income is a general rule. Yes, it is. I just explained it before I even read. You said that. Cool. And I'm just wondering if I really need that much with my current finances. Yeah, well, maybe. Unless you can self-insure. If you have stuff that will generate 200K a year, I round it up. If you have stuff that will generate that while not eating into the principal, then You don't. Looking for a bit of a safety net for my wife until my kids are over 20, and was thinking at a 1 million policy would probably be enough. Quotes are looking like it will be around $40 a month. Why are you going to be cheap on that? You make 190K. You make 190K and you're worried about $40 a month. Taxable 1 million. So it has 1 million already. And that's close. I mean, so what you could do is you could figure the 1 million. So that's like in a brokerage. So the 1 million should get the retirement savers too. So that's 1.8 million. So that's darn close. So yeah, maybe put a little bit to it. Oh, and there's still a mortgage left. So yeah, you have to pay off the house too. Unless you want them to sell it if you die. If you want your wife and kids to have to move out after you die, then don't worry about it. But otherwise, you got to pay off the house too. So you need 500 off the top to pay that off. And I'm probably taking, you could take that out today. Or, I mean, you could make her do it later. Or you could set up a will or trust or estate plan that does that pays that out of that 1 million. But then you want to have still 200K a year coming in income, even though you're not making it anymore. So yeah, so whatever the difference is between that, because they would get your retirement, your spouse would get your retirement. So that can be some of it. So there's like 500K there. So that is 1.3. So you would just need a little bit then. So another 1 million. So yeah, I take it back. That would be fine. Yeah, that probably would be enough then if you're gonna not protect this amount and then do the whole other. But you know what? See what a 2 million would be. If a 2 million would be less than 80, why not? Even if it's 80, why not do that? I would do that. For $80, I would do that. Alrighty, so we're at 8:59 Central Time, so that's 2 hours. Once more, happy Back to the Future Day. And pull up the streaming software, and what did I want to do? Oh yeah, upcoming streams. Upcoming live streams, it's Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money. That's this show. It's Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, except for November 11th. That's going to be on Sunday, November 12th at that same time. The Ramsey Show after show shows, got 2 coming up that I know of. Normally, it's at least once a month, sometimes 2. October 26th, which is this coming Thursday, and either November 7th, 8th, or 9th. I'm not sure which day I'll be off yet, but that's right after the Ramsey Show video ends, approximately 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. And who am I? You know who I am. Coach Steve Money. I'm Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you could schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. These links are also in the chat and also in the description below. I'm going to point down below. Calendly.com/Coach Steve Money, and we can schedule that. Those appointments are via video conferencing. Usually I use Google Meet for that, so you can be anywhere in the world and still have the wonderful pleasure of talking to me for free. Email about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Thank you so much to those of you who have liked And subscribed, of course, and commented my videos and watched them, of course. Thank you very much. Absolutely, if you have done that. Again, CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can add me on the gram at CoachSteveMoney. And of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. Thank you so much for watching.